The EU migration policy has led to many disasters, such as that has happened in Lampedusa in the beginning of October, where almost 400 people have died. It is clear that we cannot continue like this and let further catastrophes happen in the Mediterranean and in other borders of the European Union. We need a radical change in the EU migration and refugee policy. We need to do more on rescuing of lives at sea, where the member states are currently not willing at all to cooperate and to go under binding rules. We need to find legal ways of migration for refugees, for instance with a humanitarian visa, which is already possible but not being implemented by the member states. And we also need legal ways of entry for people who are not necessarily looking for asylum, but simply for a dignified way of living. For those we also need legal access, and currently this is not at all on the agenda of the European Union. Here we have to go in as Greens, and here we have to demand that human rights are finally on the top of the agenda. We need to get rid of things like the Dublin regulation that sends people across Europe because they have to submit their asylum application in the country of first entry into the European Union. But very often in those countries you wouldn't find an existing, a functioning asylum system like in Greece, or you would be put on the streets like in Italy, or it would be very small countries like Malta who already take on board a lot of migrants. So we have to find a way of allowing people to decide themselves where they want to apply for asylum, because this will also allow them to reunify with their families or go where they have already language knowledge, for instance. We need to completely reform our asylum system so that it's fair for the asylum seekers, that it offers a chance for asylum seekers and refugees, and an asylum system that guarantees, for instance, legal procedure that it's worth its name. If we're not radically reforming our migration and refugee policy, then the European Union is not at all worthy of its Nobel Peace Prize.